The emergency beacon had been broadcasting for 3 standard cycles when the human vessel Determination dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Xerion system. Captain Elena Vasquez studied the tactical display with calculating eyes as her crew worked frantically around her. "Status report," she commanded, her voice cutting through the bridge's controlled chaos. "Ma'am, we're detecting 17 Karathi dreadnoughts surrounding the civilian transport Peaceful Dawn," reported Lieutenant Chen from the sensor station. "The transport is heavily damaged, life support failing on multiple decks." Vasquez nodded grimly. The Karathi Empire had been expanding aggressively for decades, enslaving or exterminating any species that stood in their path. The Peaceful Dawn carried over 3,000 Zalani refugees fleeing their conquered homeworld. "Any other vessels responding to the distress call?" she asked. "Negative, Captain. We're alone out here." The bridge fell silent. Everyone understood the mathematics of the situation. The Determination was a single human cruiser facing an entire Karathi battle squadron. By any rational calculation, they should retreat and report the incident to the Galactic Council, where it would be debated for months while the refugees died. But humans had never been particularly rational. "Commander Torres," Vasquez called to her tactical officer. "What's our weapon status?" "All systems green, Captain. Railguns loaded, missile tubes ready, and our new plasma cannon is fully charged." "And our prototype?" Torres grinned fiercely. "The quantum torpedo is armed and ready for deployment." Vasquez turned to address her entire crew. "Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a choice. We can follow protocol, withdraw, and let 3,000 innocent beings die. Or we can show the galaxy what humans do when someone calls for help." The response was immediate and unanimous. Every member of the crew straightened, their faces reflecting the same determination that had carried humanity from a single world to the stars. "All hands, battle stations, this is the captain speaking," Vasquez announced shipwide. "We're going in." Karathi Admiral Vextar watched the single human ship approach with amusement. He had heard tales of human recklessness, but this exceeded even his expectations. "One ship?" he hissed to his aide. "They send one ship against my entire fleet? Should we hail them, Admiral?" "No. Let them come close enough to watch the refugees die before we destroy them. It will be educational." But as the human vessel drew nearer, something unexpected happened. Instead of slowing or attempting to negotiate, it accelerated, directly toward the center of the Karathi formation. "What are they doing?" Vextar demanded. His question was answered moments later when the Determination opened fire. The ship's railguns spoke first, magnetically accelerated projectiles punching through the shields of the nearest dreadnought like paper. Before the Karathi could react, the human vessel had rolled and fired again, crippling a second ship's engines. "Impossible," Vextar breathed. "Their weapons shouldn't be able to penetrate our shields." What the Admiral didn't know was that human engineers had spent decades analyzing captured Karathi technology. Every shot was precisely calculated to exploit microscopic flaws in their shield harmonics. The Determination danced between the massive alien ships like a predator among prey. Where Karathi vessels were built for overwhelming firepower and heavy armor, the human ship was pure speed and aggression. It used the dreadnought's size against them, staying too close for their main guns to track while systematically dismantling their formation. "Sir, we've lost 4 ships," his aide reported in panic. "How is one vessel?" His words were cut off as the Determination fired its plasma cannon. The coherent energy beam sliced through 2 dreadnoughts simultaneously, leaving them drifting. Hulks. But the humans weren't finished. "Torres," Captain Vasquez called out as her ship shuddered under return fire. "Deploy the quantum torpedo." "Target, Captain?" Vasquez studied the tactical display, noting how the remaining Karathi ships were clustering together for mutual protection. The flagship, maximum yield. The weapon that emerged from the Determination's torpedo tubes looked unremarkable, just another projectile in space. But as it approached Admiral Vextar's command ship, reality itself seemed to bend around it. The quantum torpedo didn't simply explode. It created a localized space-time distortion that tore through dimensions. The flagship and 3 surrounding vessels simply ceased to exist, leaving behind only empty space and confused radiation. The remaining Karathi ships broke formation and fled. Aboard the peaceful Dawn, the Zalani watched in stunned silence as the human ship approached. They had heard stories of this strange species, how they had appeared in galactic society only a few centuries ago, but had quickly gained a reputation for unpredictable behavior. "Are you all right?" came the transmission from Captain Vasquez. "We're prepared to assist with repairs and medical aid." Elder Threndall, the senior Zilani aboard the transport, activated the communication system with trembling hands. "Human vessel, we cannot adequately express our gratitude. You faced impossible odds to save us." "That's what neighbors do," Vasquez replied simply. "We'll escort you to safety." As news of the battle spread across the galaxy, the story grew with each telling. A single human ship defeating an entire Karathi squadron became the stuff of legend. In cantinas and spaceports throughout known space, beings spoke in hushed tones about the species that would cross impossible distances and face overwhelming odds simply because someone asked for help. The Karathi Empire, shaken by the decisive defeat, began to reconsider their expansion plans. Other species looked to humanity with new respect and hope. But Captain Vasquez and her crew simply continued their patrol, ready to answer the next distress call that reached their ears. Because that's what humans did. In the vast darkness between stars, where civilizations rose and fell like waves on a cosmic shore, legends were indeed born that day. And at the heart of each legend was a simple truth that would echo through the ages. When someone calls for help, humans answer.